As emotional creatures, humans are bound to have a few good cries in their life. We're all born unable to talk, so we resort to crying. And as we grow a little, we might cry if we fall down or don't get our way. Once you become an adult, though, a certain stigma starts to surround crying, and if you're going to do it in public, it can be seen as a sign of weakness. However, did you know that there are some health benefits to crying? So open your hearts and open your minds, because today we're going to alleviate your fears of shedding some tears. You want to know what won't make you cry though? Hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell too. In fact, it'll make you pretty happy to see all the best health tips and, frankly, the best videos on the internet once they come out. Get all that done? Good. Now let's talk about crying. Most people would rather hold back their tears or release them in a private setting rather than allowing others to see them at such a vulnerable and emotional state. But what you may not know is that crying is actually something that can represent a lot of positive things. Here are some facts about what happens if you cry a lot and how this can reflect your personality, as well as how it can affect your health. To begin, we're going to talk about the 3 reasons that a person might, in fact, cry. First off, you cry to lubricate your eyes. These tears are called basal tears, and not only do they support your vision, we'll get into that later, but they make sure your eyes stay wet and clean. Secondly, you might shed a tear as a reflex. These tears, aptly called reflex tears, are usually associated with things that irritate your eyes, like stuff you're allergic to, maybe when you're cutting onions, or perhaps just bacteria in general. The last type of tears that scientists can identify are the ones you're all too familiar with: emotional tears. These are the ones that are sparked by overwhelming emotional stress, whether it be from sadness, anger, or just severe frustration. But how can these tears help us out on a day-to-day basis? Well, we'll tell you in our list of Wail details. These are the facts about wailing, as in crying, not hunting whales, that we think you're going to enjoy. Wail detail number 1, the famous Criers. Although many people are ashamed to cry or speak about crying, there have been a few famous people known to proudly share their tears. Former UFC champion Ronda Rousey shared that there were definitely fights where she had cried the day before and even after. Other people, such as former presidents George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Barack Obama, have been known to shed a tear even if it's publicly. So what's the truth then? Is crying a sign of weakness, or could it actually be a representation of power? Psychologists are saying that people who cry a lot are actually showing a sign of strong mental capabilities. Wail detail number 2, crying is powerful. Crying can actually show that you are connected to your feelings, and it makes you confront them. Whether they are tears of sadness, frustration, anger, or even happiness, crying can be a great release rather than suppressing those feelings. It can also show that you aren't afraid to go against social expectations. Crying is usually seen as a form of weakness for men, and women are seen as overly dramatic and aren't taken seriously. If a woman were to cry despite these stigmas, it could be seen as a form of rebellion. Wail detail number 3, leaders cry. If you hadn't already guessed from all the presidents who shed tears, crying is a trait of someone who can command. What we're trying to say is that crying can also make you a leader. If you're the first to express your emotions during a trying time, it may encourage others to open up about their feelings as well. Wail detail number 4, stress reliever. Crying is a great stress reliever, and it's a good way to let go of emotions. It's not healthy to keep things bottled up inside, as it can become self-destructive. It can also feel good to cry because when you do so, the body releases a set of endorphins. Crying also reduces stress by releasing toxins through the tears. A study was done in which a group of people were shown a set of sad films. The people who didn't cry during the movie reported no changes in their moods, but the people who did cry experienced sadness and then eventually happiness. The ones who cried felt better in the long run because of this emotional release. These tears are named emotional tears and are one of the few different types of tears the body can produce. Wail detail number 5, different looking tears. Did you know that when you cry for different reasons, your tears actually look different? Although it can only be seen under a microscope, the shape and build of a tear shed after cutting an onion will look vastly different from one shed after a breakup. Wail detail number 6, the health benefits of crying. Tears are also important because they naturally kill germs. Tears contain antibacterials that kill up to 95% of the germs surrounding the eye in just 5 to 10 minutes. Tears also act as the natural lubricant for the eye, making sure that they stay moisturized and preventing them from drying up. It's also known to lower blood pressure as well as heart rate. Patients who cry during therapy sessions end up with lowered levels after the release. Crying is also great for pain relief. Not just emotional pain either, but physical. According to Healthline, crying for long periods of time releases oxytocin and endogenous opioids. Essentially, these chemicals get released in your body and you start to feel numb. That will calm you down and make you feel like a weight has been lifted from your shoulders. Furthermore, crying helps you get rid of manganese. According to Aging Care, manganese can be described as a mineral which affects mood and is found in significantly greater concentrations in tears than in blood serum. Apparently, also according to the website, elevated levels of this material in your body can be associated with anxiety, irritability, and aggression. So it's probably good to get some out once in a while. Finally, crying also helps you see better. Vision becomes blurry when the membrane on your eye dries up. So lubricating them every now and again is a great way to help yourself see better. Wail detail number 7, sobbing sleep. Ever had a good cry and immediately fell asleep after? Didn't you wake up feeling much better? In fact, pretty well rested? Well, there's something to that. A study done by scientists in 2015 found that crying toddlers have better snoozes, and although the effects on adults haven't been tested in the same way, it would fit the crying profile. As we discussed, it's a calming, mood-enhancing, and pain-relieving thing to do, so it makes sense that it would help you not only sleep better, but fall into a slumber much easier. So if you're having trouble falling asleep at night, maybe have yourself a good cry. Our writers recommend The Iron Giant. Wail detail number 8, it gets you help. This one is pretty important because if you find yourself crying a lot, it's a good indicator that you need some outside aid. In a study done by scientists, they found that crying publicly creates bonds with the people around you. It will help you grow your social circle for when the going gets tough. It also improves communication in a relationship. Say someone is often the rock of a relationship or often doesn't show their emotions. A good cry is the best way to let the person know how you feel immediately. Relationship expert and author April Mazzini puts it this way. Someone may be trying to play it cool or hold it together or be out of touch with emotions that are suddenly apparent when one person starts to cry. It also might help with your fights. Mazzini once again puts it like this. The crying can quell a fight, emphasize a point not gotten across in words, or simply underscore the importance of the feelings behind the dialogue. So if you and your partner have a hard time getting your feelings across, consider crying. Wail detail number 9 helps you embrace your humanity. Did you know that even though most mammals' eyes are moistened by tears, only humans shed them in response to emotions? So when you cry, you're not only helping your body, helping your relationship with others, and helping your mind, you're separating yourself from the animals. All in all, crying doesn't mean that you're weak. It means that you're human. The next time you're feeling upset or angry, go find yourself a nice quiet place and let it out. You're guaranteed to feel much better after the emotional release. And that concludes our list about crying. What did you think of it? Are you going to cry more often now that you've read the health benefits? Or are you still against it? Debate the topic of crying in the comments section below. Enjoyed this video? Hit the like button and share with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.